What was that project that I was working on? I have a list of them somewhere. Let's just use that super search command. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. That's a pretty cool command, isn't it? Commands tend to trip people up. Even the name feels technical, and Tana does kind of change gears at this point. Most people tend to believe that in order to really leverage commands, you have to know what all of the options are. You're going to have to use the fancy commands, of course, and you also have to think just like a programmer would. All you really need is two things. Number one, you need to think in actions and outcomes. Number two, you just need a tiny toolbox of options to select from. Really master those, and then you can expand from there. With those two things, you have all that you need to accomplish 90% of what Tana experts do. I'm Nick. I'm a product designer, a startup founder, and data scientist, and I build and teach systems in Tana. In the next 10 minutes, you'll get a headache-free introduction to commands. We'll build that super search command I demoed at the start, and then we will bind it to a keyboard shortcut. Every command can be read with IPOD in mind. IPOD stands for input, process, output, and destination. Sometimes you work with defaults that make it feel like an element or two isn't there, but they always are. Let's draw that out. So anytime you have a system that you're working on, whether it's small or large, you have a space that you're working in and you have IPODs. So a command as a system has IPODs. It's got input that comes into the command. There's some kind of process that happens, maybe multiple processes. The result of that process is an output. Where does that output go? To a destination. Next, we're actually building the super search command. If you don't want to, you don't have to build it yourself because the commands starter kit comes with a pre-built version for you. Plus, it contains my tiny toolbox of 12 system commands and 2 base parameters. I'll explain those in a minute. And it comes with a mini course that explains how to use all of them. All of that for free when you join my community at any level, including the free level. If you want to go deeper, I'm running a studio exclusive workshop on commands soon. Now let's build that super search. What happens with that super search? It takes whatever you type here. In this case, my example was project. This is the input. This text right here. It takes that text and then searches my entire workspace for anything that has been tagged project in this case. Then it generates a search node and it puts that search node right here in the same place that I started. So how do we do this? First, you have to create the super command itself. And the way that you do that is you type out the name. It can be anything. It can be a placeholder that you change later, but you type something out and then you hit Command K, start typing command, and you'll see this convert to command node option pop up. Select that, and now you officially have a command. It doesn't do anything yet, but it is a command. Now inside this command, I'm going to leverage one system command. That's one of those words that I mentioned earlier. System command just means it's a command that was built by the Tana team, and it comes with every installation of Tana. That's what a system command is. And this particular system command is called insert Tana paste. Now, I'm going to warn you, Tana paste itself is its own kind of language. It's not too complicated, but it might overwhelm you at first. That's not the purpose of this. This is just to show you that you can use it and how to use it. So this is what a command looks like when it's inside another command. And that's really how commands operate. Commands operate by calling other commands inside them. I call them subcommands because they're inside. Now I'm going to add a configuration here. So I open that up, and inside this command is just a series of fields or parameters is what Tana calls it when you're inside a command. This is the prompt. And in this prompt, what I'm going to do is copy paste some stuff just to save time. And we don't even need that, honestly. Okay. I'm going to quickly break down what this is doing, but if you're not familiar with Tana paste, you can kind of ignore it. Just don't get intimidated by this. What this does right here, this creates a search node. This is just some text. So whenever I use this command, the word all is always going to be here. This calls on the name of the node that I called it on, which in my example was project. And then I use that here again. And what this whole node does is this defines how the search works. So this search is going to return anything that was tagged with that text from the original node. And that's it. The only other part of it that is missing that isn't here yet is another parameter called insert output strategy. And I want to select replace contents because I want it to replace the thing that I just typed. That's how I want this thing to work. All right, so I close that, and actually let's keep it open for reference so that you can see. Now I'm going to do a demonstration again right here. So I type the word project and I invoke that command. So I call it by hitting Command K and then super search. There we go. So I select that now. And so project turned to all project, and it's a search node. And it's showing all of the things that were tagged project. If I open up the query editor, it has the project tag. That's what this thing did. That's how that works. Very simple and straightforward, especially once you understand how the Tana paste language works. Now, the last thing that we're going to do is key binding, creating a keyboard shortcut. And that is not the most intuitive, but it's super easy to do. All that you have to do is hit Command K, bring up the command that you're interested in creating a keyboard shortcut for. Super search is right there. Now you hit Command Shift K, and then you can hit whatever keys you want this to be triggered by. So let's do Command Control S. That shouldn't overlap with anything else on my system, hopefully. And I hit save. Now, if I try that again, let's type project again. Now I'll hit Command Control S, and voila, it did it. Once commands click, Tana works at the speed of verbs. Friction drops, mistakes shrink, and you ship better work faster. If setting up Tana has meant months of trial and error, mismatched templates all over the place, or you've paid thousands of dollars for custom builds that end up needing revamping or complete restructuring again later anyway, the Workspace Development Kit fixes all that. It's a product plus training experience that gives you a powerful, flexible, and extensible workspace. We help you install it, and we show you how to build exactly what you need without any expertise needed. It's like having an entire custom build for your workspace, but then you get to expand it and build on it further however you want in the future. It is super powerful. It's worth thousands of dollars. List price is $750. If you sign up before we start selling seats, you get an early bird discount. It's free to register interest. It costs nothing to do that. On top of that, if you're interested in really taking things to the highest gear possible in Tana, we're running Business in Tana shortly after the Workspace Development Kit. It builds on top of that, then it goes further, and the focus of this edition is extreme work management. If you operate your business in Tana, you are going to be extremely interested in this one. Seats for both are opening soon. The Workspace Development Kit starts November 6th. Business in Tana starts November 27th. Links are below for that and more. And don't forget to grab the free template of the Command Starter Kit and the mini course that comes with it in the community. See you soon.